Good morning, guys. Hope you all had a good night. We're going to quickly get started here just because yesterday I ran out of time, so I want to make sure we can get through as much as possible before the bell rings in about 15 minutes. So on our pre-market gap scan here, the first stock on watch, or on the list rather, is this AVCTW. Honestly, I don't know what these stocks are. Like, sometimes see AVCT here is the second one on the list, but then sometimes there's these AVCTWs, and I don't know what those are. I usually don't trade them though. I just skip over them. Honestly, I need to do more research into what those are, but I'm gonna skip over that first one and just go straight to AVCT. This stock, I'm looking to more short biased on this right now, just because it's extended from these bigger time frames, and it doesn't look like it's setting up for a long just yet. I would need to kind of see it. I mean, if anything, it kind of set up a long a little bit ago, but I don't really trade pre-market. So yeah, I'm looking a little more short bias on this one. For a long though, I would need to see it kind of dip off the open and test these bigger time frames and then bounce off them, and then maybe hold above 1250 as support, or 12, but not really sure yet. It needs to actually set up, and it has a lot of work to do, so we'll keep it on watch, but definitely a little more short biased for now on AVCT, but we'll keep it on watch. CBL, sub-dollar stock, but pattern looks interesting. I like that it's above VWAP here, above this 32-cent level. That's really good. Maybe if it breaks this 34-cent level here, it might do something. So you can keep that on watch. It does have a little room to pull back some more on the hourly chart here, but I think that's a little less of a concern for me right now. So maybe a break of 34 cents, risking 32. Probably won't be a trade that I'll take, honestly, just because it's a sub-dollar stock. But it doesn't look too bad. So keep CBL on watch. It's also a little high float. Thinkorswim is saying 191 million float right here. So that's pretty big. So keep that in mind. If it does trigger, it might move really, really slow. I'm going to skip this one just because it's sub-dollar and 2 billion float. Let's see, DNLI. Looks okay, honestly, for a long. I'd like to see it maybe hold. It's a little expensive. I don't really trade stocks this expensive, but it doesn't look bad. If it can hold above 32, I like how it's breaking above it right now, and maybe break through 33. Might see a trade there, but if it just breaks straight through 33 right here, that would be a chase, kind of like it's doing now. It needs to kind of pull back and breathe a little bit. You know, stocks just can't keep running. They need some time to pull back and set up. So the fact that it's above 32 now, that's a good sign. It just needs to pull back because this is getting into chasing territory here. But it doesn't look too bad. Also very expensive. Let's see. TYHT, another sub-dollar stock. We got a lot of cheapies on the list this morning. I like that it's holding above this 59 to 60 cent level for now on the hourly chart. Trying to see what levels look exciting. It's honestly got a lot of overhead resistance over here, above 65, 70 cents. There's these big wicks that you can see. So we'll see how it sets up. It has some work to do. I'm not too enthused about it right now. Bayak. So I've been watching this one for a while, but I was never able to really get on board with this. The daily chart was a nice little flag. I actually tried buying it, I think, in July right here, above 80 cents, and it didn't really do anything. So I had that 80-cent level on watch for so long, and I think it broke that level, yeah, like after hours the other day. You can kind of see right here. I guess it kind of broke it there too in the middle of the day, but it really broke it after hours the other day and kind of hasn't looked back since. So I missed out on that one. Not on board with that, but I'll be watching it now to see if it sets up for any like continuation or maybe even a short, because I know there's a, let's see on the daily chart. I mean, it doesn't have that much overhead resistance on the daily, but I'll keep it on watch. It might set up for continuation pattern, especially because it broke this daily chart little flag in here, like this. So today might be like day 2 of its run, if you want to consider yesterday a run. So we'll keep BIOC on watch. Looks interesting. I'm not sure the key levels on it right now, to be honest. It's kind of tricky, but maybe if it holds this $1.05 on a dip, it might set up some sort of long trade on that. So we needed to like dip and then pop back up, hold 105 and then break, but it needs to set up. I don't even know what levels are good on it yet. TVTY just looks low volume. I'm going to skip this one. APPS. I like that it's bouncing off these bigger time frames. It is a little more expensive though. Maybe if it could, let's see. It probably needs to break above this $21 level to see any move higher, but it also needs to, let's see, hold above 20 or even 2050 here, somewhere in there. So it needs to kind of pop back up and chop around a bit before breaking through 21. But then if it does trigger that trade, it might get met with some resistance here at 22, so just be mindful of that. Probably won't be a trade I'll take, honestly. I keep breaking my rules the last few days trading these stocks that are a little more higher priced, but I don't know, they've been setting up, so I have to at least play them smaller, you know. OTRK is also low volume. I'm going to skip that one. CELH, low volume. I'm going to skip that one. This one has a funky name. I'm going to skip that one. BEAM, another higher priced one. I'm telling you, they've been everywhere. These sub-dollar stocks and these higher priced ones. But I like how this is bouncing off the hourly chart here. To set up a long, it needs to get back over VWAP at least for me. So I'm thinking this 27 level ideally, because it was some resistance right here. And then if it could get back over that and kind of chop around and confirm it as support, maybe a break of 28, which seems like a wide risk trade because it's $1 per share risk on that. But hey, it might make a pretty big move. If you want to get it a little tighter, you can maybe try seeing if 2750 will hold this support. But it's got some work to do. It needs to pop back up and consolidate before breaking through 28. So we'll see if you can do it. It's also trading a little bit light volume compared to some of these other ones. And it's also expensive, so it's not really on top of my priority list too much. VSTO. All these things are very expensive lately, and this one's also low volume, so I'm going to skip it. EMAN, E-M-A-N. I like this stock. I also like all the time frames so far on it right now. The 1 minute candlesticks look a little algo driven, so maybe there's some algorithms in this stock to be mindful of, but other than that, it doesn't look too bad. Honestly, if it breaks 150, you might be able to get away with taking a little trade through this pretty soon here. I would risk maybe 130, 145 or 140 at the most, but you can clearly see this little flag it's setting up right here. So The next break of 150 could see some upside. Yeah, it looks actually pretty decent. The 1 minute chart may need a little pullback to confirm the support level and then a re-break, but like I said, if that goes early like that, you may need to risk a little wider down here at 140, but that's actually not a bad looking chart, to be honest. I got to keep an eye on that. I might end up trading that, to be honest with you. COMM, I'm a little more short biased on this one just because these bigger time frame extensions. To set up long, it needs to kind of pull back off the open and like reclaim or hold as support maybe this 1060 level. So kind of pull back and kind of reclaim above it, but I would still need to wait for key levels to establish themselves on this one because it's a little unclear at the moment. What else we got? We went over some of these. There's the EMIN one. LQDT, low volume, I'll skip that. KBLMW, super low volume. ARLO, kind of low volume, but interesting because it's holding these bigger time frame charts. I'll keep it on watch. I think it needs to kind of maybe hold 580 or 590 and then break 6 to see any more upside, but it's also got some upper wicks here, so be careful of that. HOFV. It doesn't look too bad. It has some more room to pull back. It's not my favorite chart with these upper wicks. I'm probably going to skip over it, to be honest. DSKE, super low volume. EDIT, expensive. GPL, this one looks okay. The float is ginormous, so that's a concern for me right off the bat, but maybe a 110 break here, risking 105 could be something. There we go. Yeah, so has a little bit of work to do, but if it could pop back up above this and chop around in here and then break through 110, it might see some upside. Just be mindful that it does have room to pull back a little more on the hourly chart first. But looks okay if it could get above 105 again. GODY, expensive and low volume. We went over that one. AVGR. Let's see here. I'm not the biggest fan of this chart. I don't know why, but sometimes these things just don't look good to me right off first glance. But maybe I'm trying to be picky here. I don't know. Maybe a 59-cent break risking 58 if it could get back up and hold its support, but I don't know. It's one of those sub-dollar ones again that if you've been listening to my streams, you know I don't like very much. So we are about 1 minute from the bell here. So far, there's only a few things that look somewhat okay. BHC is bouncing off this bigger time frame now. In order to set up long, it needs to get way back above here. 24 to start. 25 would be better. And maybe a 26 break. But yeah, it's got a ton of work to do. Looking super, super weak. A lot of these are looking super weak, actually. Except these Mara and Riot stocks. These are still on the radar. I can't believe this. Honestly, I'm going to keep a watch on Mara, M-A-R-A, and R-I-O-T today because there's the Bitcoin-related tickers that I feel like are due for a big pullback. I thought they were going to come yesterday, but these things are still trending. So I'll keep these on watch for a short at some point today, but we'll see. Alright guys, that wraps it up. The bell's going to ring in 5 seconds, so please trade safe today. And thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.